So here's how the whole Britain feels like. At least that's in my opinion. And I see, I hear, all is everywhere. Let me know if this is how you feel. And the thing is, it's not necessarily British people only. I'm an immigrant. But that's exactly the same feeling as within natives and immigrants. And I'm talking about the immigrants who assimilated, the people who's been, been living here for quite a long time, and they just became part of the country like I am. So basically you work for like over 45 years of your life. You try to save some money. You try to have your life within your means, right? You're trying to be responsible. And then at some point you have this envy people full of ideology coming over and just basically taking it all from you with a smile on their faces. And then if you complain, they will threaten you, right, with the force. And to make it sweeter for everyone, they're going to give you some reasons of why they're doing it, what they're doing it for. And they're going to say, save the planet. Come on, Alex, would you not want to save the planet? Of course you would. Who wouldn't? If you don't want to save the planet, you must be a very bad person. Then they're going to tell you to care about every single conflict going all over the world, about people from every single country, poor country, not country, dictatorships, whatever. It's your responsibility, it's my responsibility. We need to be responsible for them. And if you dare to feel different, then you are the bad person, you're called names. You see, if you are actually responsible for your own life, the system is going to punish you. It's going to punish you in taxation, it's going to punish you in taking your freedoms, taking whatever you have left. And there's not much left we have. They're going to increase inflation, and they're going to tell you at the same time it's transitionary. It's just for a minute, just for now. 2 weeks to flatten the inflation, right? Remember that? Then we have the whole bunch of systems within the system, which basically are bottomless holes, right? No matter how much money we throw in there, the hole is getting bigger and more dysfunctional. The best example, of course, is our beloved NHS, which used to be once a pride of the nation, right? It was, I mean, we still call it our NHS, we still believe in it, but it's obviously broken. I think it's broken beyond being able to be repaired. And then the amount of money we throw in that the NHS, it does not relate to solving any problems, right? It's just throwing that money, burning it. And I've actually recorded a video a few weeks ago about this, because I had some experience working on some projects for the NHS with the private companies. And it never goes anywhere. And of course, if you try to say something about the NHS or how maybe it's a wasteful spending, maybe we shouldn't, maybe we should rethink how we actually go ahead, then yet again, you're the bad guy or bad girl, right? You want to privatize our NHS. That is the classic. Then of course you have estate spending, you have dysfunctional public services, you have, paying tons of council tax increases every year. It's like hundreds of pounds a month in council tax. And we're being told this to keep everything kind of usable, right? Clean, maybe, don't know, I would imagine probably fixing potholes, but the potholes are getting bigger. The rubbish in some parts of the UK is not even being collected. But I suppose you still have to pay your council tax, do you? Do you get refunds in, like, I think it's Birmingham. Do they refund you money for not collecting your bins? Because that's how it should be, right? But no. You have billions of pounds wasted on one hand, then you have billions of pounds sent all over the place, but not kept here where we need it most, not kept with you, your families. And for a long time, it felt like it was kind of an issue, important issue, but now it got to the point where this is not just an issue, it's a to be or not to be for the country. And what I see around, and I'm talking about people I know, people I watch on the internet or I listen to, literally everyone is at the tip. It's just enough. It cannot be any. And you see, this is not about, oh, I'm dissatisfied. This is not about, oh, I'm a little bit upset or even angry. It's not about it. It's a desperation. If you have people working hard all their lives, being told to save, and if they don't save, they'll be punished. So they do. And then at the end of their lives, when they have at least want to have, I don't know, 5, 10, 20 years of some sort of relative peace, everything is being taken from them. That's desperation, because there is no options. If you have a family which they can't pay their bills because their food is getting smaller, right? The shrinkflation, the bills are increasing, the wages are not moving, and at the same time you have politicians laughing into people's faces with all the empty slogans and all the usual lies. That is a desperation. There's no more, you see, there's no division in the country. I think this is the only topic which the country is really united on. And this is a huge thing if you really think about this. Because we kind of getting divided on the more like smaller challenges, smaller issues, right? But when it comes to this, there's not a single person I know, and I know a lot of people from all those sort of backgrounds. I'm an immigrant, so I know immigrants. Not a single person would say this is not, no, they don't agree with that. This is not okay. Everything is fine and we should carry on the way it is. I ask myself, by the way, if you hear or see kids around, sorry, it's still school holidays, so I've got them around playing. You see, I was thinking about this. Did we bring it all upon ourselves? And I mean, the answer is yeah, to be fair. I mean, it's not like space aliens landed here and they just thrown all that stuff on us, right? They didn't install Labour in our government, and the previously before Labour, Conservatives, which destroyed everything anyway. It was us. So we kind of collectively decided to go that way. But it feels like now, and it's just getting, the speed of it is getting really quick. It feels like, hang on, it just fall down. Hang on, be back in a second. Kid fall down. Sorry, a little emergency there with one of the boys. It's all good. So, as I was saying, this is sort of a issue we allowed to happen ourselves. So it's going to be up to us to actually fix it. I see our leadership, current and the previous one, as one of the biggest problems we have in a country, and it goes all over the West, I suppose. And I'll tell you what, I don't mean just normal reasons, like they politicians lie and stuff like that. I don't even want to talk about it. That's just, everybody knows this. But the problem with leadership and the change, see, things don't change until they do. And when you try to make a difference, when we're talking about 5, 10 or 20 years of changing system for the last 20, things the system has done for 20 years, it's going to be very difficult change, very drastic change for most of the people. Now, the leadership is not allowed or prepared, maybe prepared, not allowed, but prepared to do it, because even if they would try to step in a little bit into that direction of change, we would have a massive cry from all over the place, especially from the establishment, from people who's been around so long, they're comfortable. Now, you are not comfortable, I am not, and the majority of people are not, but it's up to them to allow change happen unless we change the leadership. You see it all over the Western world, where basically our style, the way we live our lives is changing. Our values are disappearing, eroding, and we're getting vocal about this, but we're being told that it's just part of life and we should not change anything, and then we get exactly same reasons, right? Because of the global warming, global cooling, global this, global everything. There's a reason for why we need to suffer for the benefit of global something. Until we as a people will accept that the change will require a demolition, and that will mean temporary pain and temporary sacrifices, then nothing will change, because we will always hear the same story from our leaders. They will try to please us for the next 4 years while they're in power. Then they just disappear, leaving the problem bigger than it was before. Then the new ones come, and the cycle carries on. Not many people are mentally prepared to actually take responsibility, and that is the big responsibility we're talking about. To stop being giveaway Britain, as somebody said, which is brilliant, I think, to actually becoming a responsible country with tough decisions and consequences. Right? We need to face it eventually. This would require strong leaders, brave leaders, but most importantly, backing up of people like you and me, people who are fed up with everything, to actually stand up, say, okay, we will accept more pain as long as it's directed towards fixing what needs to be fixed. And it might take 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, I don't know, but it has got to start from the understanding. It's not going to end, nothing's going to change just because you choose a different leader, one politician, one guy. Doesn't matter if it's a Nigel Farage or Keir Starmer or God knows who else. It has to be a movement across the whole country. The majority of people have to move that anger we have in us towards actual change, and that change will require sacrifice. And sacrifice is the sacrifice of feeling okay always, because we're always trying to feel okay, right? Always need to be liked, always things need to be nice. We cannot physically get from where we are now by just swapping politicians and improving little policy here, little policy there. Like, you can't improve the NHS without destroying what the NHS is right now. And I'm not talking about shutting it all down, of course, but I'm talking, hey guys, the NHS is not working in the current form. It stopped working for whatever the reason. It worked before, it doesn't anymore. Can we agree? Everybody needs to agree on that. Then we move, okay, so which part do not work? We then remove those parts and put something else in replace them with something else, right? The same would go with welfare state, the same would go with immigration, the same would go with every single problem we're facing. But we can't just keep jumping from problem to problem, losing focus and never offering any solution, okay? Because empty slogans, they only work for 4 years, and that's the whole reason why we hear them, because the politicians are not there long term. Some of them they are, but they're just changing parties. They move from this way, that party, left, right, whatever, right? And then they just come back, then they have some jobs in companies, whatever, right? It's not long-term commitment, and we're going to have to do it. We're going to have to understand. I don't know if we can. Because I know how hard it's going to be. It's like building a business. It's really hard, much harder than most people think. It's like saving money for 30 years. It's very hard. Temptations to spend, get a debit card, credit card, build a business. Why would you suffer for 3-5 years if you can just get a job and just get on and have good salary, go for holiday, whatever, right? It's like all this, that is the mindset we need to apply to ourselves. Now, I am very optimistic, as much as I can, about why Britain is the best country suited for that change. And the reason is because I'm an entrepreneur, so I've seen Britain from the business side, and Britain is still very much the spirit of British people, of entrepreneurship, of being open to innovation is still alive. I would be much more pessimistic if that was, let's say, Germany, right? Which I keep saying I don't see them anywhere recovering anytime soon. Not especially as a EU, maybe as a separate countries. But in the UK, it's still possible. Very hard, but it's possible. And I think the current pain we all go through, it kind of serves us, I think, as a reminder that what we need to do and what sort of problems we need to face in order to fix them one by one. It's not going to be done by changing policies or little cuts. It has to be, like these politicians from Argentina, is it? Like he was with this chainsaw. That is what that's it. We're going to have to chop everything off and then figure out what to do with the bits and pieces to rebuild it. You can't just have an operation with a scalpel and cutting it bit by bit to fix. No, we passed that point. There's no way of reshaping the current system, current problems into something functional. It's done. And it's across the whole West. It's not just Britain. It's the problems we face everywhere. Now, I want to leave you with. With one more thing, positive thing, it's immigration, right? I'm an immigrant, so I want to, of course, this is a huge problem with the immigration, which is everywhere. It's not the biggest problem, in my opinion, but as an immigrant, I'll tell you this: we immigrants feel the same way you guys do, natives. It's like I hear, I'm probably going to have comments like this here in my video, under this video, when people say, oh, look, an immigrant guy who came here thanks to EU is complaining about being an immigrant, other immigrants and EU. If you're thinking this, I think it's not very sophisticated take. I don't want to call you names, okay? But that's not the sharpest one. I'll tell you why. Just because, for example, just because I'm an entrepreneur doesn't mean I accept or I like every single business or every single business the way every single other entrepreneurship is running their business. Doesn't mean I like what Jeff Bezos does, okay? Just because you are a football fan doesn't mean you like every single football club around there, right? Just because EU allowed me to come to England illegally years ago doesn't mean I am now servant of the EU. Like, we have this thing at the end of our necks. It's called head, and inside there's a brain. And the reason for it is to actually use it and think. We think, we change, we tweak, we adjust, we see what works, what doesn't, and we move on. Just because the EU was okay for UK maybe some time ago doesn't mean we should be always forever I'm forever now slave to the EU because EU was once great. No. Just because I came here legally and I assimilated properly doesn't mean I'm for all immigrations. Like, I'm sorry, but that is just so dumb. Like, it's almost funny that I have to explain this. There are some people still claiming these things, right? So it's like, if that is you, rethink it, okay? Think about this again. If I'm Polish, it doesn't mean I'm going to be everything, whatever Poland does is going to be great. Like, oh, that's it, because I'm Polish. If you're British, everything what British government do is great. Like, that's not how it works. There are nuances everywhere. But yeah, I think the giveaway Britain is a big problem. The reasons for everything happening to us, all the things we don't like, being hidden behind global whatever, you fill the gaps, global weather changing, global conflict, global poverty, global food crisis, global whatever, everything global is presented like yours and my problem, and therefore we can't look after our own problems. Now this is the problem with everything, because we need to be responsible ourselves with what we can do here for ourselves. We can only improve our own life. We can't change the planet. But how do you actually improve everything else around you? Is by looking after yourself first, helping you, then nearest family, then friends, then neighbors, etc. And if everybody does what we can for ourselves, then things around automatically improves. Okay, but we can't keep getting distracted by global every single issue is happening, which, by the way, is caused by the same people who are trying to distract us with that and telling us this is our problem to solve now. It's a similar story with the charity, right? It's like, I don't do charity the way people were like, I don't pay for some problem in some Southeast Asian country. Like, I feel for them, I'm sorry, but we have problems here. So we're going to have to solve them first. And this is most ridiculous, because sometimes this is seen as an extreme point of view, or people coming in just trying to call you names. You don't care about hungry people in Asia. It's like, no, I didn't say that, but I do care about hungry people in my next town. Yeah, because these are people I see. They see me. We neighbors. That's why I care more. Again, that used to be common sense. Now it's kind of controversial take. But what do you think? Where do you think we can start with the change? Because it's going to be painful. It's going to have to be done with a chainsaw, not scalpel. And when you start doing small changes, like not even small, any changes, then you have suddenly all the mainstream media, all these talking heads attacking whoever is trying to make a difference or even be positive about things. They're just unleashing full force against that person, that politician, right? So we need to have a lot of people backing these politicians up, like whoever that is. They will need a lot of support, public support, and public needs to understand it will hurt. Are you ready to like accept some more pain, but more directed pain? Because there's no other way. There's no other way around it. Yeah, guys, if you like this video, please leave me a like. I have a private community for people like-minded. If you like to have conversations like this, if you feel like you lost your clarity and focus, as we all do, come and join us. I'm actually preparing some kind of like workbook for that community, where what I use to get my clarity, how to actually get this, all the noise out of your life, which is number one most important thing everybody can do. You can find a link for the community in the description. It costs $10 per month, so it's a few quid. And the reason for it is I don't want to have just average like people who just don't, they shouldn't be there. People who are just gonna tell me, well, if you're an immigrant, how come you don't like immigration? Like if that's you, then you're probably not gonna pay $10, and that's the reason I'm charging for it. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribing yet. Thank you so much for all your support, all the comments. Our channel is growing, it's on fire, it's amazing. It's thanks to you. I think we are getting somewhere. We are building actual real community people. This is so important, because if you go on the internet, on YouTube, you actually see the real people behind real problems, instead of this talking heads on the mainstream media for years, which everyone is so tired of, right? It's amazing. Like, no, it's not. This is a raw feelings of the people. This is it. This is the internet, and it just gives you hope, and it gives you more strength, because you see others going through the same things, same problems, and it doesn't matter if you're a native or immigrant, frankly. So we're all in it together. Yeah. So let me know what you think. Give away Britain? Nah, let's change that. Have a great day. Cheers.